Hi there, I'm Lebuchang and welcome to Mzansi Business. In today's video, I want to talk about South Africa's fourth largest cellular network, Cell C. From dazzling consumers with new concepts such as the Half Tiger airtime to having celebs such as Zola and Trevor Noah as its ambassadors, this brand triggers such warm feelings of nostalgia. Somewhere along the lines though, a few things would go wrong, leaving Cell C in a mountain of debt which ultimately led to its takeover. A takeover which was partly funded with its own airtime, which has been described as one of South Africa's most notable corporate capture cases. So how does this happen? Let's break it down. Cell C was first launched in 2001. It was 100% owned by a company known as 3C Telecommunications, which in turn was 60% owned by a major construction company from Saudi Arabia, Saudi Ogre, which was controlled by the powerful Lebanese Hariri family. The remaining 40% was held by Cell C's empowerment partners, a company known as Cellsaf, which was led by Lihlohonolo Moloi. Saudi Ogre invested billions of dollars into Cell C after winning the country's third mobile license in 2001. Cell C's main aim was to break up the duopoly of MTN and Vodacom, even though they initially relied heavily on the Vodacom network. They started off with a prepaid service, EasyChat, and a contract service was rolled out the following month after launching. Its simple and low-cost packages made it attractive to consumers, and you have no doubt heard the notable tagline, Cell C for yourself. But before Cell C started, it said that they were already sabotaged by the big dogs, Vodacom and MTN. It is said that these two telco giants met between 1994 and 1999, and they would come up with a plan to make it difficult for newcomers to compete in the cellular network market. They did this by increasing call termination rates. Call termination rates are rates that network providers have to pay each other when calls are ended on their networks. Before 1999, Vodacom and MTN charged each other 10 cents per minute for off-peak calls and 20 cents per minute for peak calls to terminate calls on their networks. But just before Cell C was launched, it was changed to 50 cents per minute during off-peak calls and up to R1.25 per minute for peak calls. When Cell C launched, it had very few subscribers, so most of its subscribers called Vodacom and MTN numbers, and as a result, Cell C had to pay over a substantial chunk of its voice revenue to Vodacom and MTN. By early 2002 though, Cell C had its first 500,000 customers just within 6 months of operating, and November 2002 already had 1 million customers signed up. Cell C was off to a good start, and in 2004, Cell C launched its Half Tiger airtime offering, a R5 airtime voucher that will go on to be one of its fastest and biggest selling products.
Yeah? Yes, young Daniel, I don't think so. Haven't you ever heard of the Half Tiger? It's only R5. You, call me.
Get Half Tiger, only from Cell C.
It would seem that it is expensive to run a mobile network operator, and to clear some debt, in 2005, Cell C's empowerment partner, Cellsaf, sold 15% of its 40% stake in Cell C to Saudi company London Securities. In 2006, the concept of mobile virtual network operator (MVNOs) in South Africa was first introduced when Virgin Mobile began operations on the Cell C network. Although Virgin Mobile stopped operations in 2021, this paved the way for other MVNOs to enter the market. In 2007, they introduced the Hala 7 starter pack, partnering with the legendary Zola. It was designed to appeal to a new audience as well as raising funds for community development. Also in 2007, Cell C would launch its Woza weekend offering, which offered customers 120 minutes of free Cell C to Cell C calls on weekends. By 2008, Cell C had hit 4.8 million subscribers. In 2010, they revealed the new black and white logo and also announced comedian Trevor Noah as their new customer experience officer, CEO. This move made the Cell C brand so much more relatable than the other options that were available. Cell C only launched its 3G in 2010. Compared to other networks, MTN officially launched 3G in 2005 and Vodacom in 2004. In 2012, Cell C rolled out its 99 cents for real campaign. This allowed customers to phone whoever they want, whenever they want, without worrying about peak or off-peak times. MTN caught wind of this and declared war, relaunching MTN Zone, which offered free or heavily discounted MTN to MTN calls. 2012 still, Cell C announced its plans to build a new head office north of Sandton. They would put up a large billboard that had a design concept of the new building that would grab the attention of motorists along the N1 highway in Midrand. Cell C would also be unveiled as the new title sponsor of the Nelson Mandela Bay Sevens, as well as launching an insurance for mobile phones, C-Surance. By the end of 2012, Cell C had passed the 10 million subscriber mark. 2013 South African rugby franchise the Sharks announced that Cell C is to become its new title sponsor, a deal that would run for over a decade. In 2014, Cell C began to offer free WhatsApp to its customers. By late 2015 though, Saudi Ogre, Cell C's majority stakeholder, was effectively bankrupt, meaning Cell C had no backer, not to mention the mountain of debt it was under. Some blame a troubled oil market with knock-on effects for those who do business in Saudi Arabia. The vultures would come lurking, and even Telkom was interested, as well as a company known as Blue Label Telecoms. More on this in a bit. In 2015, at its peak, Cell C had about 21 million subscribers. 2016, Cell C unveiled its commercial home fiber offering, C-Fiber, and in 2017 would launch a streaming entertainment platform called Black. They would also partner with British telecoms company Lika Mobile to start rolling out its services in South Africa. Lika Mobile would shut down its services in South Africa in 2024 though. August 2017, something huge happens. A company known as Blue Label Telecoms comes through with a recapitalization plan to save Cell C from its rising debts. So through its fully owned company, the prepaid company, it acquired 45% of the issued share capital of Cell C for a purchase price of 5.5 billion rands. But there's more to this deal than what meets the eye. It is said that Cell C first bought 2.5 billion rands worth of its own airtime from Blue Label Telecoms, which then used the money immediately to fund its 5.5 billion acquisition of a 45% stake in Cell C. This was a unique transaction that may have made Cell C the first company to be bought in part with its own airtime. Cell C shareholders agreed to this deal because Blue Label agreed to purchase a minimum of 436 million rands worth of airtime cash on delivery from Cell C every month, and those monthly payments could keep Cell C afloat. The deal itself raises a lot of questions though. The deal is made out to seem that it's to save Cell C from its massive debt, right? But Cell C's empowerment partner Cellsaf believe there may be some ulterior motives. As part of this new recapitalization, the ownership structure of Cell C was radically reorganized. Debt and shares were dumped into 3 new special purpose vehicle companies named Cedar, Magnolia, and Yellowwood. Between them, those 3 companies now owned a combined 30% of Cell C. Another company known as Net1 also acquired a 15% direct interest in the issued share capital of Cell C. Cellsaf's stake in Cell C was effectively diluted from 25% to 7.5%. It is also said that Cell C pulled out of a distribution deal with Massmart, which meant that Cell C products were not available at chains such as Game and Macro. Customers of those stores were instead directed to Edgar's. Edgar sells cell phone products using a subsidiary called Edgar's Connect, which, despite the name, is 51% owned by Blue Label Telecoms. In 2022, Blue Label injected new money into Cell C to stabilize the company and provide the liquidity needed to operate. This increased their stake to 49.5%. It was also revealed that Net1's 15% stake decreased to 5%, and that 2 of Cell C's debt holders, Nedbank and Gramercy Funds Management, own 7.5% and 6% respectively. Cellsaf's stake was further diluted to about 3%, but Employee Belief Trust, which holds about 24% of Cell C, through the 3 special purpose vehicle companies. And once all Cell C debts are cleared, the shares will be transferred to the trust beneficiaries, which is Cellsaf and the Cell C staff. The recapitalization helped Cell C reduce its debts significantly. Blue Label would later take over Cell C's debt from Gramercy in a move that would up Blue Label's stake in Cell C from 49.5% to about 53%. Yeah, talk about a corporate takeover. Alright, I have to go back in the timeline slightly. I just wanted to make sure that I cover all of that. 2018, Cell C started rolling out a new logo with the new color scheme, the orange and white. The customer numbers would also drop to 17.2 million. 2019, Cell C still losing customers like crazy. They had a decrease of 2.9 million customers to bring the total to about 14.4 million. They would also begin their network migration to MTN networks so that Cell C customers could benefit from the expanded national coverage and better quality connection. By the end of 2020, Cell C's subscriber numbers were decreasing. They had just over 11 million subscribers, with about 9 million of those being prepaid and contract users. In contrast, Telkom had been showing significant growth and had about 14.9 million customers at that point, officially overtaking Cell C as the third biggest mobile network operator in South Africa. In 2022, the company also announced it aims to develop into a digital lifestyle company. Financial services group Capitec would also launch Capitec Connect that year, a mobile virtual network operator on the Cell C network. June 2022, Cell C subscriber numbers were up to 12.7 million, but then things just started going downhill again. December 2022, they had 10.6 million subs, and 9 months later, 8.2 million. A whole 4.5 million decrease. It said that they were losing customers intentionally as they were trying to focus more on their bigger spending customers. In 2024, Cell C was announced as the new title sponsor of the Comrades Marathon, and in January 2025, Blue Label announced it has been approved to take over Cell C's licenses, including its spectrum, bringing Cell C firmly under their control. And that is pretty much the Cell C story up to this point. Can't forget that one angry customer though, that even left the whole billboard for Cell C that Cell C had to fight in court to get removed. They had a promising start, but seem to have suffered a fall from grace in recent years, with more than 8.5 million active subscribers today. And despite having opened its doors more than 12 years ago, it looks like the company is still some way off from achieving profitability. It just goes to show how much of a difficult market the telecommunications industry is in South Africa and probably even globally. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm Lebogang, this is Mzansi Business. So glad you could join us. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.